Hey everyone! Today I've got The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, Disney Plus review. Baby Yoda, what do you have there? What is that? Ah! It's a spider! In this week's episode called The Passenger, does this series continue towards a successful destination or on a downward spiral? So as far as the story goes, Peyton Reed, who previously directed movies like Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, takes us on this little side mission where the Mandalorian meets this frog lady who has a husband who may know the whereabouts of other Mandalorians that Mando is looking for, and who will help him find the child's kind, all the while being hunted. However, she totes around all her unfertilized eggs. I mean, that is just so crazy when I first saw it. And soon as I saw Baby Yoda checking them out, I was getting really curious about them. I would only have one thing to say to Mando. I find your lack of discipline disturbing. He does seriously need to pay more attention and baby-proof his ship before Baby Yoda eats any more of the frog lady's eggs. I mean, it just looked kind of gross at first, but I was like, hey, I'm really shocked because I don't even know how much Baby Yoda can eat in the first place. And Mando's ship gets damaged, and after retreating from a couple of X-Wing fighters to a place that kind of reminded me of the Hoth planet from Empire Strikes Back. So I was like, where are we going this time? Because it looks kind of cold here. So as far as the casting goes, you've got Pedro Pascal, who, you know, I kind of like the fact that he still acts like this, you know, half responsible father to the child, and how he's, you know, he does seem to take control a lot of the time, but then when he's not in control, it's like, what do I do? But he does kind of have a funny way of showing it at times, but I kind of still have a smile on my face every time I see him on screen. Even with his interactions with Amy Sedaris, who meets up once again with Mando at the same place that I can't think of the name right off the top of my head, but it's the same place where Han Solo shot first at Greedo in A New Hope. Then you also have Dave Filoni, who is the show's producer, and he has a bit of a cameo appearance in this. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. You know, you get more of your stamp set on this series. So the things that I liked about this episode was that obviously the special effects were the thing that I feel like stood out to me the most, and they looked cooler than ever this time around. And on top of that, with all of the action-packed parts of the episode, just made it 10 times more badass and entertaining to watch, because there's this random detour that, you know, was slow in the beginning, and I literally didn't know where this was going to be headed, so it was also kind of a surprise. But I had to pause the episode just to double check that runtime, because if it was going to be either longer or shorter than the first episode, you know, I really had to know that answer. And it didn't disappoint when it's this filler but with a substance, and it may be the start of what we will see with the way that, you know, you have Mando and Baby Yoda's relationship get tested, and possibly more challenging, of course, you know, taking on this responsibility of, you know, caring for Baby Yoda. You know, he continues on this journey to bring him to his own kind. And now I swear that there seem to be several nods to the Aliens franchise, particularly in this episode, because at one point I shouted, "Express elevator to hell, going down," you know, that line that Bill Paxton said in the movie. Seeing possibly one of the scariest creatures in the whole Star Wars franchise, and it's this new species of spider that came out of these eggs that were kind of like the thing in Aliens, and it was really just terrifying and unnerving to watch. I mean, my chest was pounding, or my heart was pounding through my chest. And when Baby Yoda was in danger, I mean, my blood pressure went through the roof. Of course, it always makes me nervous every time Baby Yoda gets put in these precarious situations, but it's just still had me on the edge of my seat. So I probably loved most of everything going on in this episode. So overall, I would say that I was still pretty impressed with what I saw, even though there were some parts that I was just like, okay, what the heck is going on here? So it would be really curious to know if we're going to see more episodes in the future that are like this with these little detours, or it actually is going to be something that looks like a detour, but it connects to the whole entire series and like the whole point of it, and you know how we're still going to have to find out, will Baby Yoda find his own kind? Will Mando find his own people again? So that's definitely something worth continuing to watch this series for. So I would highly recommend seeing this episode, this series in general. I still think it's going on the right path to success, so I can't wait to see where it goes next, and I hope it's just as exciting as these past two episodes. So I would give this 4.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, and as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.